I know that I should have probably made this video 18,000 years ago. Okay, I sorry. You can't be mad at me now because I said I sorry like I'm 3 years old. Today we're here to talk about destiny, about fate, about dodging death. That's right. This is Final Destination. Dun 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 dun. Now at the beginning of our story, you meet our main character, Alex Browning, and he's going on a trip in his favorite rocket ship, going through the stars, trying not to die. Get ready to explore. Death is coming for you and them all. All right, my fault. I thought I would make a remix about Death trying to kill them all, but I realized it was trash. Anyways, they're going on this plane trip, but my man Alex is he's a special kind of guy. Special in a way of foreseeing futures where they might die. They're supposed to go to France, but I don't know if they're going to make it there. Now, this is supposed to be a big class trip, you know, senior trip. We're all going to France. It's going to be awesome. Don't worry about it. Now, a bunch of weird things are happening to Alex. First, he encounters this weird ass guy with this painting on his head, like he's from some sort of tribe or some shit. Bro talking about death isn't the end. Excuse me, buddy. Can you get your weird ass on somewhere? Luckily, his teacher's there to tell this guy to f off. Anyways, also, the departure time of his plane is the same as his birthday, which is really weird. Alex is getting very strange feelings about this. Now, his buddy comes over to him and tells him like, hey man, we probably should go take a dump because Krista and Blake, what happens if something happens magical on the plane and you gotta shit? It's hard to get on them toilets, man. So you gotta get that shit out of you. And as they go to the bathroom, they sitting there, you know, him and his buddy, a song plays from a guy who died in a plane crash. That would have been enough for me. I wouldn't have got on that plane. I'm just being honest. Because are clearly tweaking if you think I'm getting on a plane after hearing a song from a guy who died on a plane. Look at this dude Todd, bro. He on there trying to talk to the host. It's funny because the actor that plays Todd's character's name is Chad. What a Chad, man. What a aura farmer. You know, it's crazy that they were allowed to say slurs back then. You know, this dude just called him the F slur like it was just normal. Now, I don't want to hear nobody in the comment section talking about it is normal because I don't got time for no homophobia on my channel. Anyways, the plane is starting after Todd has decided that he's going to switch seats with the two hot girls. I would have said no to help my friend out, but obviously this dude Alex is a douchebag. Okay, maybe he's not a douchebag and just a nice guy to girls, but you know, still, I would have been a good wingman for my guy. Anyways, the plane takes off and it gets kind of shaky. And by shaky, I mean very shaky. But they're telling everybody to calm down and that everything is gonna be okay. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Except for it isn't, as everybody starts flying out of the plane. The whole siding rips off. You just see people losing their life. Bodies flying through the plane. The whole thing explodes. And just like that, my man Todd wakes up out of a dream, sweating. So my man wakes up and starts freaking out like he wants to get off of the plane. And honestly, I would have got off the plane too. But why is this douchebag in the white shirt trying to swing on him? Obviously, you know, right now, this douchebag is mad, swinging on my man Alex for no reason. But he's not going to be mad in a second, as the plane is going to explode. So my man Alex is mad because this dude Horton is talking shit. So we all had to get off of the plane because little Alex had a bad tween. Oh no, Alex had a bad tween. Hey, you Horton, stop playing with me, cuz. And right as they're about to box each other to death, boom, goes the dynamite. The plane explodes. Told you guys the plane was going to explode. Should have listened to me. Now the FBI shows up at this point because obviously they have to ask questions because there's a kid who said, this plane's going to explode. Now they're all getting questioned, you know, and they're asking Alex, well, why did you say that the plane was going to explode and then got off of the plane? I don't know. I just got a feeling. What you mean you got a feeling? Like what kind of feeling? Like you had to fart or something? Nah, I was just on the plane and then I got this vision, you know, I saw it. So I got off. Man, what kind of bullshit? Look, man, keep it real with me, son. Did you put bombs on this damn plane? How the hell do you think I got through TSA with bombs? I mean, son, you know this came out like, you know, before 9/11, so security probably lax. Wait a minute, you telling me that this movie came out right before 9/11? A plane exploded and we were in New York in the movie? Why did they put this movie out? Man, I have no idea. I'm just keeping it a band. Now at this point, you know, all the kids, they see the news and they find out that there are no survivors. Now all the kids at this point, they go to this funeral and everybody there is being weird to my man Alex, acting like he's some sort of oracle or some shit. Or even Billy comes up to him and asking him if he's gonna die at a young age and if he asks Cynthia out if she's gonna say yes or no. And I mean, honestly, you don't need to be a future seeing oracle to know that she's gonna going to say no to him. That's besides the point. The only one that seems to be nice to him is his buddy, Todd, and Claire, who thanks him because they're still alive while giving him a flower. My man Todd goes home that night after giving the little speech at the funeral. And here comes that wind again, blowing through his window. You'll see that it's a common occurrence. The wind blows and things happen with the wind as soon as death is there, coming to reclaim his victim. Back at Alex's house, he's having a weird moment where he's looking through a newspaper article about the funeral, and then he sees Claire in it, and for some reason decides to pick up a Penthouse magazine. Kind of freaky shit.
Hell no!
Anyways, my man Todd's back at home and he's shaving, but his toilet was leaking and the water is leaking on the floor. Yo, hold on. What is that in the mirror? Was that a shadow? Oh, nah. Anyways, I can't show you what my man was seeing in this Penthouse magazine. Now, in this moment, as he's sitting here with this Penthouse magazine, an owl flies to his window, like the one from Harry Potter. I don't know why I just mentioned that, but whatever. But the magazine ended up hitting the fan, and a little tiny piece flew on his leg that said, "Oh my God, Todd!" At this moment, my man Todd slips, falls in the bathtub, and then this wire ends up flying around his neck, and it starts hanging him. The crazy part about it is after Todd dies, the water from the toilet seeps back into the toilet. It's like death was trying to make it look like a suicide. So when my man Alex shows up at the house, the FBI are there, which is crazy, and they see him there asking about Todd. Mr. Wagner comes outside and says he felt so guilty about his brother that he took his own life. But Alex brings up a good point. He was just making plans with me. If he was making plans with me, why the hell would he kill himself? You know what, Todd? That's actually a good question. But Claire is there and tells him to leave. And he probably should have. They meet up after this, and she's explaining to him that the FBI weren't there for anything. They're suspecting foul play. Anyways, they don't believe that Todd tried to kill himself, so they sneak into the morgue to try to look at his body to get any clues. Then they meet him. Candyman! Oh my God, it's Tony Todd, the guy that plays Candyman. Kind of crazy. I wonder if Candyman's connected to Final Destination somehow. Probably not, but you know, whatever. Anyways, the guy explains that there are markings on Todd's neck that shows that he was trying to get the wire from around his neck, which means that he didn't kill himself. Makes a lot of sense, because why would he make plans with Alex if he was going to kill himself? Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, he says that death has no accidents, that everything is for a reason. They end up leaving after this, and my man Alex has come to the conclusion that he doesn't think any of this is by accident, that death is trying to find them, because maybe they weren't supposed to get off of that plane that day. Maybe they were actually supposed to die, and now death is trying to reclaim all the deaths, starting with Todd. There's probably a specific order to all of this, but you know, who knows. Anyways, Terry and Horton are together at this point, and they spot Claire and Alex together. So he goes to pull up, and they almost kill Billy while he's on a bike. It just so happens that their teacher is here too, the one that also left the plane. Kind of crazy how everything starts to work together, you know? But Terry ends up crashing out, and she's like, "Look, man, they died and we didn't. So if you want to live the rest of your life, Horton, beating up Alex every time you see him, then go ahead. But I'm not gonna do it." And you know what? Honestly, I don't blame her. She ends this altercation with, "You can just drop dead." And that's exactly what happened to her, because as soon as she turned around, she got hit by a bus. Oh my God. Anyways, later that night, Alex goes home and Claire calls him. But Alex is like, "Look, man, tell that bitch I'm in the shower. I don't want to talk." Now later that night, the news comes on, and he finds out about how everything would have went down. How there was some combustible fluid that leaked, and it would have caused explosion. Now he takes the path of this combustible fluid and how it would have exploded everything, and he traces it over their airplane seat and realizes that his teacher is next. So he goes to her house to try to stake it out and make sure that she's safe. But the weird ass FBI guys show up. Now the FBI is in there questioning him about why he was sitting outside of his teacher's house and why he's at every single scene of every crime. Or at least they think it's a crime, but I mean, obviously we know the truth. Now his teacher's back at her house, and at this point she's trying to make what seems to be tea. "Now Alex, it came under our attention, and you know, we're suspicious about the plane. I mean, you got off of the plane, told everybody to get off of the plane, and the plane exploded after that, after you said it was going to. Obviously, this is very confusing." "Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Basically, we think that you did some shit." "Man, bro, I don't got nothing to do with anything, man. Now, I need to go because my teacher's in danger. Fuck is y'all not understanding?" "Well, I guess we can't hold you. You haven't really done anything except for being, you know, a little bit weird and stalk your teacher. And I'm just saying, man, something off about that kid. I can almost believe his ass." Now back at the teacher's house, she's getting some vodka in her damn coffee mug. What a wonderful way to drink vodka. Anyways, there's a leak in her coffee mug, which ends up dripping into her computer. This is pretty bad. And now her computer is steaming. It ends up exploding and shoots her in the neck. Now she's bleeding everywhere. On the way back to her house, he sees a bunch of leaves burning, and the computer sparks and hits the alcohol that had been dripping that entire time. Now her house exploded while she's sitting there bleeding out. I honestly feel like she would have just bled out and died anyway, but you know, gotta add insult to injury, like this part right here where she goes to grab a towel and the knives end up falling and stabbing her in her chest. Now, obviously, this makes them even more suspicious because he was just sitting outside of her house and now she's dead. What the fuck? This kid is at every scene of every single death. Anyways, Claire, Horton, and Billy meet up, and Claire's explaining to them that they want to go find Alex because he knows exactly which one of them is going to die next. Now, Claire knows exactly where Alex will be, so she pops up on him. She tells him about this story about how her dad left to get cigarettes one day, and he ended up dying, so she knows all about death. Anyways, her dad has his cabin in the woods, so they're all going to go there, pretty much hole up, try to figure out a way to protect themselves. Hey man, did you know that the teacher was going to be next before she died? Yeah, I knew. I tried to stop her. The FBI was there, and they take me to this room and they get to asking me questions. There's one fat ass dude with glasses. Oh my God, son, I can't believe this shit, son. I'm gonna die, son. Yo, which one of us is next? Which one of us is next, man? Look, man, it doesn't matter who's next, bro. We're all on the same list. So death is coming for all of us. I guess it kind of does matter who's next though, right? Because if you can stop the next guy from dying, then it's gonna prolong the rest of us from dying after that. Now this dude Carter get the freaking out at this point, bro. That man Horton in there tripping. Horton hears a who. All right, my fault. That was crazy. So he gets to drive in the car all wild, bro. I'm talking about just driving, however, using no hands on the steering wheel. He's like, oh, I'm gonna just go out on my own. If death is gonna kill me randomly, then I'm gonna take my life into my own hands. So he gets to just driving around, and eventually they get him to stop, but he stops on a railroad. I done stopped on railroad tracks with a train coming. Now at this point, this dumbass dude can't get out of the car. Doors is locked, seatbelt stuck. But don't worry, because my man Alex ends up pulling him out of the car and saving him at the last minute. But there's a piece of metal on the railroad track, and now Billy is crashing out. And you know what happens? The piece of metal flies from the railroad track and cuts Billy's head off. Yeah, that's right. We all thought that this dude Carter was going to be the one that's going to die. But no, it was Billy the entire time. Bro got his head decapitated. Now they all decided that they were going to get out of here at this point because, okay, look, this man Billy done died. We got to protect ourselves. Little did they know that none of it matters. That's going to get who it gets. Anyways, my man Alex is sitting there. You got gloves on, eating. Why are you in this death trap right now? Yo, death is really in there trying to get his ass. Now my man Alex is literally sitting in this death trap of rusted ass tools, you know, a lantern that could catch on fire. Bro in there eating tuna and shit, while Claire is getting questioned by the FBI. They're trying to find out where Alex is at, because at this point they need somebody to blame, and they're trying to blame it on him. Now this dude Alex is sitting there and he realizes that he moved his seat, that if he didn't move his seat, Claire's seat would have been ahead of his, and that she's the next one to die. So he leaves the cabin. But here comes the police and the FBI trying to get his ass. Hey, Alex, man, stop that bullshit, guys. Yo, Alex, I need you to calm down, okay? I need you to get out of the boat, Alex. Alex, suck my dick, you fat mother tag money. So this dude Alex dips off and he's trying to find her to make sure that she's okay. But shit is going crazy at Claire's house. Dog out there barking. Goddamn candle got blew out. Oh my God. That's got to be a sign. So she goes out there because obviously her dog's freaking out and there's a wire with electricity sprouting everywhere. Probably should go try to save my dog. But once she goes downstairs, everything starts to go wrong. She gets in the car to try to leave, and oh my God, what the is this? Her garage motor falls down. The electric wire falls onto her car, so now that's not working. And it seems, is that a kerosene container? Oh my God, it's a death trap. She looks like she's in a Jigsaw movie right now. Alex shows up at the perfect time though, but hopefully he can save the day by cheating death. He feels like if he dies, it'll skip the line or something. It'll stop death from trying to come after them. But what he didn't realize is that they would actually resuscitate him and bring him back to life. So it's like he died, and now that he died and the line got skipped, but he's back to life, it's like they tricked death. At least that's what they think happened. So they all go to France anyway, and they get there and they're having a wonderful dinner. Kind of weird being here now. We finally completed the puzzle. Yeah, I guess so, man. Terry, man, the tie. But they realize in this moment that death isn't done with them. There's just something I can't figure out, man. Hear me out. So I saved Claire and it skipped to me, right? Now Alex is freaking out and he realizes that he could still be next. So he tells everybody to stay there and he ends up dipping off. Now his ass almost gets hit by a bus, which then hits this sign. The sign falls down and it almost hits him, but it gets intervened by Carter, which means that Carter is next and the sign almost hits his ass. And just like that, Final Destination is over.